like I say, for for 250 million years, basically, or some great amount of time. Like I said, the Millennium Falcon, believe it or not, like I say, it is a real ship. It was a real ship. It really did work. It really does work. It uses, I believe, it uses the whole idea of bending space time, or so. I don't really know how it works, really. Like I said, I don't know how it works. I used to know. And it's probably a ship that I actually designed myself. Like I said, there was the LSF-A colony ship, or the LSF colony ship, which you know, which is basically alcohol and water. Very effective, actually, and worked really well. And it's a real ship that you know about, and shouldn't be national security or top secret. But I designed many other ships, basically the White Empire. Basically, I could tell you how basically the White House, blah blah, the White Empire was in the Millennium Falcon. It's a real ship. It was a real ship. Anyway, basically, what was going on, what happened pretty much is basically a cloning project beginning in about 1920 or 1850 or some year like that. And pretty much JFK or Nixon trying to get into power. And basically, eventually, of course, JFK or Nixon basically made sure that he was the first one cloned, and there were 30 clones of him. And then, of course, after that, then, of course, there's Jimmy Carter, which came along, and and as leader, president, or basically supposedly something. Like I said, the Republican and the Democratic Party began in about year 1200 or something like that. Is where they first were, and they were opened a small office, and they were trying to blah 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 or something like that. And I don't really know. Like I said, go talk to China, go talk to Europe. There was somewhere over there. Basically, I believe in China or Russia or someplace like that. You'd find pictures of basically what was the Republican Democratic office or something like that. Anyway, and they began about then, basically, and became very annoying but by year 900, um, or I mean by year 1817. But then I was like, you know, basically them. Somewhere around 1850 or 1700, I was like, and basically like a great big steamship in the night, and basically the Republican and Democrats were first trying to do whatever, and basically I was like, to them, pretty much, or something like that. There was this point in time when it was really bad, and they were carpet bombing the world and doing all kinds of horrible things, and basically it had to stop, and it did, basically. And like I said, most wars that you know about are basically the real wars between basically pretty much the Republican and the Democrats. They didn't really see me as a threat, or they didn't really know about me, basically, or something like that. I don't know. A lot of people were protecting my identity, protecting who I was, protecting what I was from them knowing about me, because they knew that they would just try and kill me or whatever. I don't really know. Not that that's probably even possible. Like I said, 9 of the oldest races, 9 of the oldest types of life, and blah, 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 blah. And pretty much, you just have this little group, which is the Republicans and the Democrats, basically beginning in year 1200 or some year like that, and basically climbing to power, and pretty much basically their single goal was pretty much to try and pretend like they were me or blah blah or something like that. It's like they're not the creator, they're just life forms, they're just people, basically. And idiots at that. And basically just people trying to basically get a hold of the tax credit. And like I said, there was also like the king and queen thingy or whatever, a bunch of people trying to pretend like they had the legendary son or something like that, or legendary person or something like that. And there's a bunch of two sons shall rule, two children shall rule, and all kinds of bullshit that they were telling the people, in the churches or whatever else like that. And it's like, whatever, stupid stuff. And like I said, they were, like I said, Nixon or JFK would go on TV and be like, we should be worrying about the war in Afghanistan. We should be trying to stop that. And if he went to Afghanistan at the same time that he was making that address, there was no war in Afghanistan. There was nothing there. And the Afghanistanis or whatever, or the country that he was referring to was like, what? Is there a war somewhere out here? Anyway, and then JFK would go to get guns to go fight the war and whatever. And, basically, and it's like, oh, that war! So JFK was basically, he would talk about how we should be worried about this war before there was actually a war, and then he would get guns, and then he'd go and... yeah, it was like that, pretty much. At least I believe. Like I said, you should do your own research, of course, and look into it yourself. Basically, it was like that, where he would go on TV, like is this guy omnipotent or something? Oh, no, he's attacking us. Okay. Oh, yeah, all right. Anyway, so, yeah. Anyway, he'd hit up Congress or hit up some group, for money for guns, so you could go fight the war. A war that wasn't actually happening until he got guns. Anyway, and then there was a war, and a very bad one at that, or something like that. Anyway, so basically, that's the truth of basically what JFK was, what Nixon was, what they were basically. And basically, they were just trying to get guns to go kill people. So anyway, and basically the takedown of my shuttles, like I said, in Quebec, not K country, whatever, that K place where my space shuttle is, what's considered the Russian space shuttle. It's actually the Indians and like I say, I'm like basically it's actually like the Indians, the the the, the Indians or the Indian nation, the country of India, basically contributed to, and I believe some sports. I think that's the one where the sports announcers, a bunch of people basically contributed to basically build basically what is the new space shuttle. Pretty much, that's considered the Russian space shuttle. See, there's the original space shuttle, blah 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 blah, and that was done by I believe I don't know who did that one. And then there's the new updated space shuttle, that's considered the Russian space shuttle, and that one is done by India. India contributed. A bunch of Indian scientists contributed, and a bunch of other people contributed. Probably some Russians and some. That's the New Age one. And then there's, of course, the epically old one, which was, I believe, I don't know, I forget who did that one. Probably some Russians or whatever, or some Germans or something like that. And then there's updated one, blah blah. So you just have to get things straight, as there was basically this rocket and blah 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 program somewhere. Anyway, like I said, I don't know. Ask India. Like I say, you should go talk to the Indians or the country of India, basically. As I think it might have been also some Filipino. I don't know. A bunch of people contributed into that space shuttle, basically. And like I said, I love you, my children. You guys are wonderful. And thank you so much for creating the Brian space shuttle. You guys are amazing. It had LCD screens. It was a much updated, much newer space shuttle, and was amazing. And I love you for it. I know. Okay. Anyway, though, JFK was basically trying to take that one down, and I believe I believe there was also some Irish people there also as well, and doing space shuttle work. Like I said, I had a lot of great people. I mean, the people of Ireland, the people of Germany. I have millions or billions of very, 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 very smart, very intelligent people, PhD, real people that are really of PhD level, that went to school their whole lives to be able to do something like space shuttles and space and stuff like that. And basically, Nixon or JFK was trying to kill them or stop them or something like that. I don't really know. Like I said, go talk to the fucking White House. They're pieces of shit in there. Like realistically, you should basically walk up to most congressmen and just shoot them in the head. And by Congress, they actually mean fornication. Because that's all they really did. They fornicated, they lied, they did whatever they wanted. They spent your taxpayer dollars, and basically tried to pretend to something. They went over to they went into communist Russia and communist China, and basically just lived the high life, pretty much. In America, they were blah 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 blah, but over there, they were basically, the people living the high life. Anyway, so like I say, it's basically the Republican and the Democratic lie, pretty much. And it's it pissed me off. It pissed off a bunch of other people. To the point where people are just like, fuck these guys. Who are these people? They're no one. They're guys that they're just taking advantage of the people. So living the high life. They have nothing to do with anything, and they're just pretending to be Congress. It's like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? They didn't build anything. They don't really run anything. They just pretend to be senators. And then they go over to these countries and basically expect all these people to give them whatever they want. And it's like, who the fuck are you? Anyway, it's something set up by JFK or Nixon or someone, and basically also some Vietnam vets try and do the same thing. It's like, who the fuck are you? Hell's Angels, whatever. It's like, fucking motorcycle people with machine guns. Like, who the fuck are... And then they try and consider everything national security, top secret. It's like, hey, who the fuck are you fooling? I mean, whatever. Like I said, Hell's Angels or motorcycle people are attacking tanks in Russia. And stuff like that. And the Russians were like I said, I have very effective and very real military forces. They train every day and every night to basically be military forces. Like I said, it was just the LS shells where basically Zachary or Bill Gates basically got a hold of nuclear reaction shells and basically was going around killing people. And they could get through bulletproof armor or almost any kind of material. Anyway, basically just, and it was mostly just Zachary and Bill Gates, basically smearing himself with goat blood in Guantanamo Bay going, Alfa Romeo! And shooting some girl through the pussy. And like I said, holding a teletype room hostage and stuff like that. Some fuckhead. Pretending like he's something, but he's really nothing. He could read. Oh wow, you can read a blueprint. You can read a schematic on how to build on how to build a nuclear shell. Wow, aren't you amazing? Like, you fucking little piece of shit. And then it leaves behind devastating consequences. Oh wow, you can kill 1 or 2 or 5 people or 100 people with it. Actually kills a lot of people. It killed a crowd at a stadium one time. Like I said, they fired off one of these babies. One guy went, and it cleared. It killed everybody in the audience within like 50 feet of the shell. Just literally just killed everyone. They got sick and died like 20 minutes later. They're like, honey, I don't feel good. No, you just need to lie down, babe. And like I said, there was this big stadium somewhere, and one of the people went, thinking it'd be cool or something. And everybody underneath the shell died. Within 50 feet or something, or 100 feet. A huge crowded stadium. And, like thousands of people there. And they fired one of these shells, and for like, basically until the shell hit the ground, everybody underneath it died. Within like 150 foot or something like that. Like 5 or 10 minutes later or something like that. One of the band people had one of these shells and thought it would be cool or something. Or, I don't really know. Thought it was just like a light shell or something like that, or it just emitted light. It's like, no, it's a nuclear reaction in air. So, anyway, yeah. So, they killed their fans. Basically. Which is why when Rosalie talks cute and blah, 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 it's like, Rosalie, shut the fuck up in the background. Like, people were dying. These crazy psychopaths. And Rosalie's like, and I'll be your eyes, ears, your nose, and blah, blah, blah. And then there's a song, it's like, fucking idiots. Just letting the world go to hell. And even the Irish would probably say that. These fucking idiots are just letting the world go to hell. They don't give a fuck. People running around with LS shells. And like Mike and his brother. Oh, be quiet. Like, shut the fuck up, you stupid piece of shit, Mike. I don't care what you think either, Mike. In fact, I'd probably like to watch your skull get crushed in. And watch your eyes pop out. And bleed. How's that? I know, Taryn and Claire. Don't worry, I'm not going to kill your father. He'll live. But his brother... maybe not. Anyway, I don't know. A lot of people at some point in time realized everything about me, and basically... It's like, most likely certain people are going to die. Or are going to be tortured. Like, I don't know. My life forms will decide among themselves. They've watched you, they've listened, they've seen what you've been doing, and like I said, there's more than just the human collective. There is very much 800 galaxies out there, and only one me. So, what they do is what they're going to do. And how they feel is how they're going to feel about it. Exoskeletons don't really feel. But the 1.5s and a few of the other races very much do feel. So, they'll do what they feel is necessary to be done. So, and make their own decisions, as they say. It's a free universe. With free will everywhere. So, you are very much not alone.